Hi, this is Kerry with Filmmaker Central. And if you haven't watched my recent video on the adjustment clip, you need to take a look at that right now and get an idea of what the adjustment clip can do. Now, I didn't really go into a lot of detail on just how powerful the adjustment clip really is, because not only can you add basic effects like coloring, use it as a color grade, you can add a lot of different effects, from blurs to camera shakes to all kinds of things, and you can even include fusion effects. So the adjustment clip is a really, really powerful tool. In fact, it's actually a pretty easy way of creating reusable transitions. Now I'm going to show how to do some of that in another video, but what I found today was a transition pack from a company called Messiah. Their website is messiah-resolve.com. Link right here, link in the description, so easy to find. And they have a whole series of transition packs, as well as some title packs that they offer for sale as well. And the transition packs use the adjustment clip, which I find is really, really interesting. Now I'm going to go through and show how to get them set up, and I'm using Resolve 16.1 beta. So don't let that bother you too much. This stuff will work in any version of 16, so don't get too wound up that I'm on 16.1, but I am going to show you something that's really, really cool that you can do with them in 16.1, and I think that's going to be very interesting. So let's take a look at them and see how they work. Okay, so I've just got a basic project going here. I've got two clips that I've put on the timeline, just nothing too special, just two very different clips here. And I'm going to go up to my project manager and I'm going to say import a project. And here I have my unzipped folder of the different transitions, and notice they're at different frame rates. So this particular project is at 24 frames per second. So I'm just going to go ahead and say import that project. And now I have them over here. I'm going to open up that project. Now, one thing, and I don't know if this is just a 16.1 issue, but some of the stuff comes in and it's not linked properly. So I'm going to select all these, say relink, go to my downloads folder, to my Messiah packs, and this is the camera move transitions. Click OK, and I'm going to do that with the preview. Right click on it, say relink, there it is. Boom. So now I've got the little previews there. Now I'm going to go in here and so this is a problem with 16.1. If I'm not careful, it will crash if I try and select the entire, if I try and select multiple tracks. So got to bear with this one a little bit, and I'll show you some workarounds for some of this stuff. So I'm going to open up my camera move transitions again. I'm on my media page and I have them here. I'm just going to select them. Hit Command C to copy, go back to my project manager, go to my other project, and here on my media page, I'm just going to paste them in. So now I've got them in here, go to my edit. All right, so now we're back and I have my edit here. Now when I open up these transitions, I can see what they're going to do. So you see this? So let's find this camera zoom one. And I'm going to drop it just onto the timeline. And I'm not going to be able to get it correct or perfect quite yet. So we're going to have to make some little adjustments. I'm going to right click on it and say decompose in place. Now this is where things get a little honky or wonky with 16.1. So you see I've got to adjust it. If I go and I try and select all of these, I'm going to crash. So I'm just going to select one track, move it over so it's lined up between the two tracks there. And now I have this transition all lined up. And if I play this, I can see what this transition is going to do because he includes these little previews with it. And now, if I take and I delete those two previews, I'm left with this adjustment clip and the sound effects file, if you want to use that, on top of my other two clips here. Now let's watch. How cool is that? This is super simple. I mean, it's damn near drag and drop. Just got to play around with getting things centered and adjusted right, but it's super, super cool in what you can do. Now, in this particular one, I can see that it's got some fusion effects. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure my playhead is over that. And I'm going to go to fusion. And I can see that he has this camera zoom short, 2 seconds, 25 frames per second. I'm just going to add a whole lot of camera shake to it. And we'll try and invert the motion there. And I'll go back to my edit and we'll see what that does. So that camera shake adds a big movement to it, which I think is really cool. So adding these transitions to your project is super simple. And like I said, you can create these yourself. It's not that complicated. And if I take and I move these guys off here, in fact, I'm just gonna, let's link that for future use here. You can see I can take the adjustment clip. That's pretty long. I'll just move it over these two and let's just do something really simple. I'm going to select the midpoint there and I'm going to go to my color. And so I'm just going to add a Gaussian blur. Nothing too crazy, right? And I'm at that midpoint between the two. So I'm going to set let's actually really crank this up. And I'm going to add a keyframe there. Then I'm going to go to the beginning of that and I'm going to turn it off and I'll go to the ending of it. Now I have it going from sharp to blurry to sharp. We'll come over here and we'll just do that. So you can see you can create your own very simply using the adjustment clip and add all kinds of effects and things to it. But using the Messiah pack certainly makes things a lot easier. So let's try another one of these. I'll take this camera tilt slow and let's decompose this in place. And I'll grab the previews, move that over the center line there, grab that one, move it over. Let's go ahead and use their sound effect. Now we can see what this does. Oh, that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and delete the previews so we can watch this in action. So pretty nifty. I mean, look at this. Let's walk through this. So there it inverts the image, copies it, pulls the other one. I mean, that is a pretty sweet little transition right there. So again, I mean, you can figure this all out on your own, but having a pack like this do it for you is pretty trick. Now, remember, we still had this guy over here. So I'm going to actually unlink this, and I'm going to grab this other one and drag it on top because you can stack adjustment clips. That's no different when using these transitions. So let's give this a look. Whoa, that was crazy. So you can get as crazy as you want stacking adjustment clips. Now, unfortunately, you cannot take these and throw them into a power bin yet. That would be super cool. Even though it shows up there, if I now take that and put it onto a timeline, it's lost some of its properties. And I don't know why yet. Hopefully this will work in a upcoming version of Resolve. I'm going to be reporting it. So hopefully that will make a difference and they can get that to work. In the meantime, it's fairly simple just to go to whichever camera transition or whichever Messiah transition pack that you want, open it, grab the files, copy, paste them into your project, and you're good to go. So that's how you get them up and running, and that's how you can modify them. And I think, yeah, if you're into some pre-made transitions that you don't want to have to deal with yourself, check these out. I think it's a pretty good bargain, and they work really, really well. They're extremely well done. Thanks for watching. I really think these Messiah transition clips are very cool. They're really powerful. They've got a lot of things to them. And I think this is just the start of what we're going to see from people like Messiah and myself when it comes to creating reusable transitions. And with the change in Resolve 16.1, where I can just create a folder in my power bins of transitions to make them very, very easy to use over and over again, I think that makes for a very powerful system. So thanks for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe, check that bell icon to get notified whenever there's a new video. Always appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for the subscribes, thanks for the likes, thanks for all the comments and feedback, and stay tuned for our 10,000 subscriber giveaway. It's going to be a cool one. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.